Hello?
Miss Lestico, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for math!
Yay!
Hey, first grade, it's our last day of graphing!
Oh my goodness, we have been practicing making graphs and answering questions about them or generating questions about them for a while now.
That's right. Well, Miss Lestico, what's our target today?
Our target today says I can use data to create a graph and generate questions. Well, I've seen this target for a few days now, and I'm really familiar with those terms, data and generate and graph.
Well, let's look at some of the graphs that we worked with this week. We have 2 graphs, and what kind of graphs are these, Miss Lestico?
Oh, I remember these are bar graphs because all of our data is organized into tiny bars to show how many people voted for things.
That's right. Now, these are different graphs, but there are some things that are similar, like the data is represented in bars. What else is similar about these graphs?
Well, I know that these both have titles on our graphs, so at the very top it tells us what question we asked for each of these graphs.
That's right, and we didn't write the whole question out because that's way too long for a title. It just is the summary of the question. So when it says favorite holiday, I know, oh, we were asking about the favorite holiday. That way I remember this graph is about favorite holiday data.
That's right. Well, what else do you notice, Miss Lime?
Well, I noticed that they have things under, oh, those are the labels. That's right. So these words underneath each bar or underneath each category is showing me what the options were. So I know that, oh, these are Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July for my holiday graph, or hot dog, pizza, chicken nuggets. That's the choices that people had.
That's right. And I also know that on this left side over here, we have the numbers of how many bars we have total in each bar graph to help us count, to see how many votes we had, or to help us fill in our data and see, oh, well, I needed to color in 5 bars. So you go to the 5 and then you color up to there.
So those are some of the things that no matter what your graph is about, your bar graph is always going to have those titles, labels, and those numbers on the side.
That's right. And I remember there were a few different graphs that we practiced that were different than bar graphs, but I really like how the data is organized in a bar graph so that you can see the least and the greatest bars from our colors and our ways that we color in the bars.
Ms. Lestico, sometimes we even have questions about that, like which one is the least? Okay, let me use my graph and see if I can use this data, the least. Oh, that would be the smallest bar, and oh, on my graph, Ms. Lestico, that's this bar. Let me use my label. Oh, St. Patrick's Day got the least amount of votes on my graph.
That's right. And, well, we could also generate questions like which one had the most votes. So if we're looking for the greatest or the most, oh, we can look at my bar and see which one is the tallest because that would show the greatest number of votes. And mine would be pizza. Right here I can tell from the label which bar had the most.
Ooh, I know sometimes, Miss Lestico, we would have questions like how many more of this than this. So I could say how many more voted for Valentine's Day than for St. Patrick's Day. So this is where I'm going to have to compare my data. I need to know, here are my Valentine's Day votes, here are my St. Patrick's Day votes. I want to know how many more had Valentine's Day votes. So I would take my 10 Valentine's Day votes and subtract by 5 if I was setting up that sentence. Now I'm going to check by comparing the values on my anchor chart, on my actual graph, and oh, they're not the same anymore. See, they're the same, they match up, but now there's no more votes for St. Patrick's Day, but there are still 5 more votes for Valentine's Day. So there are 5 more votes for Valentine's Day than St. Patrick's Day.
And I like how Miss Lime remembered that the graph with the most, or the label with the most amount of votes needs to go first in your question because you can't compare the least to something that's greater. You have to compare something that's greatest to the least.
That's right.
Well, I know that we also ask questions like, how many votes were there total or in all? And so that means that you have to take all of the bars in your entire graph and count and add them together in order to find the total. And I know that we practice that by making an addition sentence with how much the first one had plus how much the middle one had plus how much the end one had, or you can practice by just counting every single bar in your graph to come up with the total number.
And if you're going to count every single bar, we definitely want to be careful because it's super easy to lose where you're counting and accidentally start counting wrong.
That's right. I like to use it as a check. So after you've done your addition, go back and see if you get the same answer, which probably means you got it correct. Well, first grade, it looks like it's your turn.
On Seesaw, we gave you some data, and your job is to use that data to create your own bar graph. Make sure you include title and labels. And then, of course, you're going to have some questions to answer. And guess what they get to do at the end, Miss Lustico?
You get to generate a question.
Make sure you answer that question that you generate.
That's right. And of course, when you're all done, we can't wait to see how well you did on this graphing unit. So click that green check mark in the corner. Good luck.